Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the FGCU softball complex here in beautiful Fort Myers, Florida. I'm Andrew Pauling alongside Taylor Marks for this evening's matchup between the Eagles and the visiting University of Florida Gators. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups.
The way she's able to keep her composure and just deliver no matter what. She's been doing really well lately. The last time we saw her was against
First pitch is lined to third, and it is caught by Gibson for out number 1, 2023. One of the top stars here of college softball. And the 2-1 from Maulding. Wallace with a drive into left field. That's well struck, sending Black back, and it's off the wall. Extra bases for Wallace, who loses her footing and slides into second, although I don't think that that's what she was trying to do. Batted in, and that .443 average, good for 5th in the conference. First baseman Ricks is in front of the bag, as is Gibson at third. The pitch is skied into right center field. Oakes, the center fielder, comes in and makes the catch for out number 2. Wallace remains at second. Stolen bases and fielding percentage. They are just a great all-around team, as that'll be an intentional walk to Otis. A little bit of a pitch out there on the 3-0, deciding not to even battle back. That's the first walk issued by Maulding. That'll put runners up first and second. Here's the 2-2 from Maulding. It is ripped to first and right into the glove of Ricks. 2 lineouts in the inning.
I know so many pitchers across the country envy Keegan Rothrock, not only being this exceptional, but as a freshman, coming out and just doing amazing things.
Chopper to short. Skylar Wallace fires across to Ava Brown, and it's in time for the 6-3 putout.
We've only really seen her at second base. She was recruited as a shortstop, but one of those middle infield positions you can really play anywhere.
Meek with a fly ball into left field, and it hangs up for Otis for out number 2. And another payoff on the way from Rothrock. This one will stay in between the lines into shallow center field. Williams, the second baseman, is back. She makes the call and the catch. Yeah, this is a Gators pitching staff that returned 0 innings from their rotation a year ago, and they're led by these 2 standout freshmen in the circle in Ava Brown and Keegan Rothrock. Walsh went 2 for 3 with 3 runs driven in the win on Sunday for the Gators. And the first pitch to her is up high. It gets past Peterson, and getting into second on the wild pitch is Ava Brown, another runner in scoring position for UF.
They're pretty consistently winning and going into the World Series, having a lot of appearances and at least making it past the first few rounds of the NCAA tournament.
Well, back-to-back.
Clara Maulding is getting herself into in this inning.
And the 2-2 is fouled. No, they're going to say a hit by pitch. It sounded like that hit the knob of the bat from in here. Infield in for the Eagles. The 3-0 bounces in again, and that'll give the Gators the lead. It's a 1-0 game on the bases-loaded walk to McClellan. Third walk of the inning issued by Maulding. Here's the 1-0. It's in the air to left field. Black is under it. She makes the catch and fires in. A nice throw by Black. And the fly out is the first out of the inning. Thresholds in average and on base for the season. Here's the 1-2. Wallace gives it a drive into right center field. And it is gone. A grand slam for Skylar Wallace. Her 7th home run of the season, and it is 5-0 for the Florida Gators as they explode here in the top of the second. Wallace now 2 for 2 with a double in the grand slam. Right around half of the games a season ago at Oklahoma. Here's the 3-1. It misses down low. Ball 4 to Erickson. That's the 4th walk of the inning issued by the Eagles. First walk here for Hume. And yeah, you think about how big it was to get that first. Hume looking to battle back behind 3-1. The pitch just missed a hair outside. That's a walk for Otis. Second walk issued by Hume. That's 5. And the 3-1 from Hume is in the air to center field. A line drive, base hit for Kistler. Everybody goes station to station as Tim Walton puts up the stop sign and holds Erickson at third. Bases low. And the payoff on the way from Hume is popped up on the infield. Meek, the second baseman, is under it. She drops it, but an infield fly was called, so the batter is out. Bernard retired, and there's 2 outs here in the second. Games for UF this season. And the 0-1 from Hume is popped up to third. Into foul territory is Gibson, and she makes the catch to retire the side as Hume works out of a bases-loaded jam, but the grand slam. And the pitch is grounded to first. Bernard, who stayed in the game to play first base, makes the play, 3 unassisted to retire Gibson. There's then Ricks and Black and Shirella at the bottom of the lineup for FGCU. Here's the 3-1 on the way from Rothrock. It misses down and out, and that's a walk for Ricks and the first base runner of the game for the Eagles. Hearing in her 12th game. And another 0-2 from Keegan Rothrock is in the air to left field. Well struck. Otis back at the track, and she will make the catch for the second out. All the way back to first. Barely safe is Megan Ricks, as the Gators had a relay from the left field corner all the way to first base. A big outfield shift here for the Gators, as this one is lined to left field. It gets down and beats the shift. Otis was essentially playing deep third base in shallow left field. Falby, the center fielder, was in left center field. It was a real odd outfield shift for the Gators, but yet Black in the bottom of the second trying to get back into it. That one is on the inside corner, a called strike 3. Angelino down look.
Gator student athlete legacy, doing a great job so far getting the start as a freshman.
Here's the 3-0 from Hume, and it misses down low. A 4-pitch walk issued. And that is walk number 3 for Allie Hume. 7 walks already through 2+ innings. Entering the circle last inning. She gets a clean slate here as this one's in the air to left. Diving is Black for out number 1.
Really, really clean play. A great.
So one time through the lineup for Hume. 3 walks and a pair of hits. This one chopped to short. They go to second for 1, and safe at second base is Williams. Extra base hits on the year for Wallace. Here's the 2-0. Up high, in and out of the glove of Peterson, and both runners advance on the pass ball. Williams to third, Falby to second.
Advantage and maximize on those bases being loaded in that home run by Skylar Wallace, and now that intentional walk for Wallace after hitting that grand slam just to get the force out on those bases.
And the Gators have yet to strike out in this game. Here's the 0-1. Popped up on the left side into shallow left. It'll actually hang up on the edge of the infield dirt for Angelino, who makes the catch for out number 2. And now the 2-2 on the way. Fly ball into right field. Shirella is there and makes the catch in fair territory as Allie Hume works out of a bases-loaded jam here in the third and keeps the Gators off the board through 2.5. It's
in stolen bases and stolen bases per game, those averages super high, and they'll face off against Erickson.
And the 3-1 is slapped to Wallace, who boots it, and that'll be an error for Wallace and the leadoff runner reaching for the Eagles. Rare error committed by the Florida defense.
She could do some real damage here for her team.
Oh, and she went around there according to first base umpire. Down on strikes is Oaks, and that's the second strikeout for Rothrock. Outfield shift remains on for Meek, who lines one up the middle for a base hit. Holding up at second is Shirella, and that's the second hit of the game for the Eagles, who have 2 aboard for the second straight inning. On the board, first pitch is grounded to third. Could be a double play, and all the way across from Walsh to Bernard. A 5-3 double play erases a golden opportunity for FGCU, although they've scored in just 1 frame. All 5 runs coming in the second. This one's lined into center field, and it gets down in front of Oaks. It takes a high hop on her, and all the way to second, making the turn for third is Kistler, and she'll be in with a leadoff triple.
That was a really weird hop that took going into.
Hume still ahead 0-2 on Brown, looking for the first out here in the 4th, and it's a looking strikeout. Brown down on strikes, and that's the first strikeout by Eagle pitching.
Just doing exactly what she needs to do.
Now 4 hits so far for the Gators. Both have come from Skylar Wallace and Katie Kistler, who are both 2 for 2, as this one is driven to left and playable for Black. A deep fly out. Tagging from third is Kistler, and it is a 6-0 Gator lead on the sac fly from Walsh. And was hit by a pitch and scored. She's also walked, reaching in both her plate appearances. Williams now bunts. It's a good bunt push towards the first base side. Hume can't glove it. She tried with the bare hand and ended up just kind of passing it off the ground almost to Ricks at first. And that should.
Eagles back into damage control mode. One run already crossing, a runner on.
Runner goes from first, the snap down to second, right on the money. The tag applied by Meek, but Williams in safely with the stolen base. Strong throw from Leske, that was right there. And the payoff on the way from Hume is up and in for ball 4 as McClellan draws her second walk of the game. That's the 9th walk here for the Gator offense. Falby now squaring around with 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch is lined into left center field. That'll get down. Williams in from second. She'll score. Going first to third is McClellan, and it's a 7-run Gator lead. An RBI double for Falby, her first hit of the game, as she goes the other way and has a nice battle against Hume, as Hume's hit the same spot 3 times in a row. And the pitch to Wallace. This one just misses a little away again, and a 4-pitch walk to Wallace. She reaches for the 4th time and walks for the 2nd time. 6 walks now for Allie Hume.
As such a big threat of doing damage to your team.
That one's grounded to first. Ricks has it and takes it to the bag herself. As the Gators leave the bases loaded here in the 4th, but tack on another 2 runs and expand.
On this FGCU roster, the Virginia native.
This one in the air to right center field, and it gets down in front of Shirella. Or excuse me, in front of Kistler, a leadoff base hit for Gibson.
This game going, so that means trying to scratch a run or 2 off the plate and limit the damage that the Gators can do offensively.
Well, that one's grounded to short. Wallace turns the double play, 6-3 to erase the leadoff base hit for Gibson. And a bit of a rally killer there. Chances here, but just keeps hitting into double plays turned by this Gator defense. First pitch to Madison Carr is grounded to Wallace again. She fires over to first, and it ends up being a 1-2-3 inning for Ava Brown, a leadoff knock, a double play turned, and another ground out to Wallace as the story in the bottom of the 5th just to keep the game going. 5 runs in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th for the Gators. This one is hit well to left field, and it hangs up for Black, who makes the catch for out number 1 on the liner. For the shutout inning here in the 5th. And the 2-2 on the way. Hit sharply through the right side. A base hit for Kistler, her 3rd hit of the game. Likely by the end of the year, it's going to be Rothrock and Brown up for a lot of major awards, as this one is skied to deep center field, and making the catch is Oakes on the warning track for the 2nd out.
If it gets close to making that type of play, I'm sure we'll see it.
First pitch on the way to Walsh, and it is crushed to left field and off the scoreboard. A 2-run home run for Reagan Walsh, and it is a 9-0 Gator lead. 2nd home run of the game for the University of Florida after the grand slam by Wallace in the 2nd. It's Walsh that connects here. She's got a 3 RBI game as she scores for the 2nd time.
Walsh hitting her 10th home run of the season right there.
Well, it'll be Mia Williams at the plate. She's reached all 3 times, a hit by pitch, a walk, and a bunt single, and she's scored twice. First pitch is scalded, and it'll be a base hit for Williams. Her 2nd hit of the game. She reaches in all 4 plate appearances.
Tenari taking
pinch hitting here for Avery Gels, who was in the 9 spot in the lineup. Came on as a defensive replacement as the wild pitch goes off the backstop, and Williams takes 2nd. With her team up by 9. That misses high, ball 4. And it's a walk to put 2 aboard now for the Gators. Marina Tenari looking for the final out here in the top of the 5th. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And it is just a little low. A walk to Falby. She reaches for the 2nd time. And that will load the bases again for Skylar Wallace.
It plays out.
And the payoff on the way to Wallace, who hits it in the air to left field. Black is under it, and she makes the catch to retire the side. And for the first time this game, Skylar Wallace is out after reaching in all of her first 4 plate appearances.
And around the bases, smart base runner, smart hitter.
Well, she's down on strikes here, and that's the first strikeout for Ava Brown. And the 1-2 from Brown, swing and a miss. Wittenberg down on strikes, back-to-back strikeouts for Ava Brown here in the 5th. And it's 0-1 on Estes.
Miller, another freshman pitcher, so
This one in the air to right field, but it drifts foul. 0-2 on Estes.
Miller, another freshman in this lineup for the Gators. Coach, have a few years of a bit of a dynasty.
And the 0-2 is grounded up the middle, backhanded by the second baseman. The throw to first is in time. And the ball game is over as the Gators pick up a 9-0 win. UF improving to 26-4 on the season, while FGCU falls to 20-11. The Eagles now 14-9 here at home, and the Gators now 8-1 on the road. UF with 9 runs on 9 hits, 1 error, 14 left on base. And for the Eagles, no runs on 3 hits with 1 error and 3 runners left on base. Some final thoughts from you here, Taylor, as we